Two old people on a couch here. I'd like to welcome you and thank you for viewing the video.
Actually live, Mister.
Don't see us
Yeah,
live.
well, I guess we are. My gosh. Okay, we
All
did.
right.
We updated OBS, so here we go.
Yes.
Dance with us.
I am Debbie, and this is Mark, and we are two old people on a couch, and we are glad you're here. And
Yeah, let us know that we're good though.
yeah, we just started.
It moves some things around. We got things we don't even know.
Yeah.
What is what? So
Yeah.
we updated.
Yeah, we updated We're trying to do better, but now it's not going to tell us when we drop. Apparently.
Yeah, it is right there.
Oh, okay.
See, that's what I said.
All
Things change.
Yeah,
and we're
it did
rocking
change.
today.
We are rocking.
We didn't
got
do
lots of
nothing
news.
other than updating. So
Lots of news already breaking.
Yeah.
This early Saturday
this
morning.
early Saturday morning. Do you want to get right out to the explosion, or just give it a sec?
Let's go ahead and just do the explosion
All right.
first. First thing, breaking this morning, there was an explosion in the port of Iran.
Yep.
They do not know the cause yet. At least 4 dead and 500 people injured right
All
now.
right. So here we go. All right. Oh, nope. Got to click on the right screen. It went boom.
It did go boom. It did go boom.
And hopefully, I'll keep playing so you can see it a little bit more. But that was pretty explosive. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just like, an oil tanker, I don't think. It seemed like something of explosive material.
But obviously something was already on fire prior to the big explosion.
Yeah, it was something. Yeah, something was.
It kind of looks like when the other port of Beirut went up.
Yeah, maybe one tank started leaking and the stuff went over into another tank, and the two chemicals got together and blammo.
Yes.
But prayers for all the people that are injured and everything. Was this anything? That's the question we want to ask. But let's go ahead and okay, let's get back out there.
Okay.
Was it maliciously done, or was it just an accident? Accidents happen. I mean, we had a port in Texas back in the, I want to say 40s or 50s, that just annihilated the whole town. So these things happen.
Right.
You get, the fertilizer, it gets wet, damp, boom,
Right.
So who knows?
Yeah.
But I've got a pocket T-shirt on, and I said I wasn't going to hijack your show today. So I'm going to stay relatively calm. I do look homeless, like you just pulled me right off the street.
Right. Absolutely. You look homeless. So we have a new person that just showed up.
Oh.
I was your old mini janitor in 3rd grade at Lincoln. So, yeah.
One of my helpers.
Yeah, one of your helpers. Man. Yes.
I love,
yes.
Hey, listen, I see some of them down in the park.
Yeah.
And it's just, or in Walmart. And it's so nice to see my kiddos, and, they meant a lot to me.
Yes.
And they were like family. So I miss all my little janitor helpers.
Yes.
And boy, I had some good ones. They would
did.
follow me all around and help me out. So,
but we are going to get into the news today because
let's get. One of my kids got me sidetracked.
Yes.
Gotta,
so the Pope had his funeral early this morning, over in Rome. So lots of dignitaries over there, all hooking up and meeting in secret meetings and off to the side and
right now this is whenever the
showing their respects for the Pope.
Well, yeah, and also behind the scenes they're trying to pick a new one.
Right.
Within 15 days, there'll be white smoke, black smoke.
Yes.
Weird stuff.
Yes.
I just don't associate my religion with white smoke and black smoke, but not my bag. I speak directly to the good Lord upstairs, right?
Yes.
And so I don't need all the black smoke or white smoke and all that stuff. But hey, if it's what you want to do, I'm not knocking it. At least they believe in Jesus Christ. That's the main thing. Let's get moving on. What else? You want me to go?
We have lots of news. Yes.
Okay,
lots of news this morning. All right, so we're going to start off with this. We covered this the other day, that the World Economic Forum founder, Klaus Schwab, retires as chairman.
Okay.
Or did he? Go to the next slide.
Yeah.
Or did he? The WEF confirms investigation into claims against founder Schwab. So, did he step down, or did they force him to step down?
Well, you did. We taught again.
Yes,
we already did a show a little bit.
Yes,
but we're going to wrap it up.
I just kind of left that.
Yeah,
on
no,
there
it's a big event
because it was a big story this week, and this is our live.
And I always say, evil will eat evil.
Absolutely.
Because once one guy's in charge of evil, some other guy will be wanting to be in charge of evil. They feel left out of all the evil going on, you know? So they got to push out one guy, say, look, I'm top dog. I'm in charge of evil now, right? Or, you know, maybe things aren't going the way the organization wanted it to go. So they kind of just shoved them out to put another evil guy in.
Yeah.
And
he was in charge for 50 years, so.
And the things that they were saying he did was, like, they were lavishly spending money, right?
Yes.
That's what they did. That's their MO. They they go to big places with rich people and eat lavish. They don't eat bugs.
Right.
They eat meat, you know?
Yes.
And lobster and all kind of good meals, but they want us to eat bugs, right? So
I forgot about the bug eating.
Oh, yeah, the bug eating. They love the bugs, you know?
15-minute city and the bug eating. Yeah.
And they want us to cut down on our carbon footprint as they fly their jets.
Right, private jets.
So, if anything, the whole organization should step down.
Right.
No,
absolutely.
Not just one guy, right? Am I right about that? So we got all that going on. That was big news. The Pope passed away. That was big news.
Yes.
A couple people predicting big news, you know, like Jacob Israel and Bo Polney.
They're
Donut
predicting
Factory.
Something big this weekend.
Right? I say Donut Factory, Jacob Israel, Donut Factory, Bo Polney, all predicted something big last weekend. Now, Bo Polney says this weekend. Now, this little accident that just happened here.
Is it something or is it not something? Not sure if it's something.
Will there be retaliation for the accident in the port?
I have no idea.
Will it be major? Will it be huge?
Will it be an accident?
Will it be within this weekend's period of time? I don't know. That's why we're here, just to, you know, just say
interesting timing, though, for the accident at the same time as the funeral.
Whole thing
interesting timing
is interesting. We've got two judges that were, you know, kind of against getting illegal immigrants out of the country. Right. And they put a stop to getting illegal immigrants out of the country. I'm not talking the good ones that come in, you know, as they are, you know, go through all the proper chains and come into the country. No problem. But they're saying they're really focusing on the MS-13 gang and stuff like that, getting them out. Well, these guys are trying to stop that, which is kind of weird, you know. So two of the judges were arrested.
Right.
And I said there's going to be a lot of arrests coming down. These are small potatoes right now.
Yeah.
But don't be shocked whenever in the next couple of weeks big names are dropped of doing nefarious stuff. And, of course, the left is going to say, oh, you know, he's a dictator, you know.
Right.
Not like Zelensky that canceled a whole election. So now he's trolling them by putting his son came out with Trump 2028. Well, which Trump?
Yes.
Right? It could be the son. Whatever. Or it could be they're trolling saying that Donald gets an extra turnout.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to go live it on that.
Right.
Yet they promote the guy that canceled all elections over in Ukraine, canceled TV stations except for his, you know, the one that he likes, and they call him not a dictator. And this guy and Trump a dictator. I could go on. All right. What else do you want me to go out to the slides?
Yeah, the slides would be good. All right. So we have U.S. and China clash over status of trade talks. And here's what we know. So Trump is saying that they're talking and that they're negotiating the tariffs and everything. And China is saying, no, we're not talking at all. So who's right and who's wrong and what's really going on behind the scenes and what? But then I saw that there was representatives from China going into the Treasury for a meeting, but the China's ban all that film from being shown in China.
They can do that over there.
Yeah.
They can ban and you know, they can lock people down. They can do whatever they want over there. All I'm saying is just give this all time, is my opinion. I don't know what his plan is. Like, slap him and stick it, or slap him and see who reacts,
right?
Who comes to the table. I don't know the plan,
Yeah.
So just everybody chill, relax. It's true.
Right.
We've been getting ripped off for 40 years.
Right.
30, 40 years, we've been getting ripped off. No doubt about that. You can go look it up at who has higher sanctions. America on, things coming into America, or things the other countries tariffing us, sending stuff to their country. Who has the higher tariffs? And I guarantee you, we've been getting ripped off.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
And again, we could get back. Here's my theory too. If we all become autonomous, kind of, make everything here in America,
right.
Everybody's got more jobs, right? We're not buying, stuff pennies on the dollar, so everybody gets paid a little bit more. But things will cost more.
Right.
But people will get paid more. And we make it here. If we go to war, we make everything here, too.
Right.
Very important that we make things in America.
It is very important. Otherwise, when it comes down to it, we can't defend ourselves.
Yeah. We got to make our food here. We got to be self-autonomous. And then we can bring in frivolous, stupid stuff if we want, But as far as having what we need to survive, we should all live on what we have here in America. That's that should have been in the Constitution. That's what I think. But, again, who am I? I'm just a guy with a T-shirt that
with a
Debbie
pocket T-shirt
drug off the street.
Right.
I was homeless, and she said, "Come in here. I need somebody to co-host the show."
You look very scruffy down there.
I'm in a rough mode. I've been off work for a couple days.
Yeah, you have been.
I got that. All right. Oh, speaking of, I wanted to say hi to all the people out at 10 Killer.
Yes.
Lake this week.
Yes.
Hopefully they're not getting the rain we're getting right now.
No, I don't think it's made it there yet, but it's
had
moving that way.
They've been lucky. Thursday they had some rain. Yesterday was beautiful. So
yeah. So hopefully they get all their activities in today before the rain hits. So hopefully so. So we have returned to COVID-era empty store shelves, likely as shipments from China plummet. So, and here's an interesting thing. Okay, so do we think this is because of tariffs, where they can just still ship stuff and raise prices? Or is it because the American people are tapped out from the inflation that we have felt and not being able to even buy necessities, that we can't afford all the cheap stuff from China anymore? Well, all the unnecessary stuff.
I think it's a combination of everything.
Yes.
And again, I don't go shopping. But so far, I'm still getting food and everything. I'm all right. I haven't seen this yet. It could happen. It might not happen. Could it be just junky crap, like I was talking about the other day on the show? Is it like a Keurig? Instead of just going to get your kettle and making your coffee, you buy it. They used to be expensive, but now they're made in China or whatever. Now they come down in price. You can get a Keurig, $60 or something like that.
Yes.
Or you could go get your $20 coffee pot.
Right.
Those things might be less on the shelf due to the tariffs. And maybe good business people will say, "Hey, I can make that in America now. It'll cost $120 instead of $60, but I'll start making it. I can make a profit at that, and they're not bringing them in, so there you go. Now you're going to pay. You could just go break out your old kettle and do it the old-fashioned way, or you might have to pay a little bit more money to get but it's going to be frivolous stuff, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, we're going to show you things that you should stock up on now before the tariffs take.
Well, you didn't tell me that. I could look like an idiot now.
You're going to look like an idiot in a minute.
Okay.
So Zombie has a good point. She said, just like last time, the media and podcast pushing empty shelves going to cause panic buying, and that might be the case too.
And then it would look like empty shelves. Yes, yeah.
I'm going with the timing is just peculiar, that inflation has been so bad and American people are so tapped out that we can't afford all the cheap stuff, therefore manufacturing fell.
All right.
That's what I'm going with.
All right, so I move along. And
we're going to talk about Costco in a minute, Jennifer. So, massive explosion. We started with this. We showed you the video. And massive explosion and fire strikes Iranian port, injuring at least 500 people. And there is 4 confirmed dead now at this point. So, it does look like, though, that something was burning already,
Yeah.
and then there was an explosion, which leads to an accident versus an attack. So
maybe,
from what it looks
unless they hit a tanker and it drained and it ran over to another tank. I don't know. Listen, I don't know. But I did remember whenever I the one in Beirut, the port blew up, and the night before I said I had dreamed a red, white, black mushroom cloud. And whenever it went, you looked at it, there's gray, white smoke, blackish gray smoke, and red, rusty smoke. So I thought that was pretty. I had that the night before, and then there was a mushroom cloud that looked black and red. So there you go. I don't know. Was it something? Was it just? Why would I dream that? But I didn't. Okay, that was interesting. No dream last night, so I have no. I just thought I'd waste a minute of everybody's time.
Yeah.
All right,
no,
let's
you're
go.
Fine. You're fine. You're fine. So anyway, arrest of judge shows how Trump DOJ is expanding federal immigration enforcement.
Yeah. Well, you know, look.
So
the American people voted in this executive branch, right?
Right.
And the judicial branch is equal or below the executive branch. Now, if he was doing crazy stuff, then yeah, I think they should put it. But the American people hired him to handle the illegal immigration situation.
Right.
That rhymed. But
yes.
Yeah, that's all. So I don't know. We're getting rid of the bad people.
Right.
Is basically what's going on at first, at least.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into it that much.
Yeah, I don't like to talk about the immigration situation because I just don't like to.
A lot of them are great people.
Yeah, most are great people,
and even came here illegally for a better opportunity. Right. I get that, but with the way the Democrats are making them get Social Security and all the stuff that we've been paying into,
right?
Then that's whenever
it cripples our system.
It cripples our system. And that's the only thing that I'm talking about is,
right.
And
we can't afford all these people.
And they're trying to load them in on certain states, give them Social Security.
Right.
So whenever they do the census, they say there's more, citizens living there, and they're not. And so they get a bigger congressional seating, and their vote is worth more, even if the illegals don't vote.
Right.
Their vote. I could go deep into it, but let's get on. Let's move on.
Yes. So, Sean Diddy Combs rejects a plea deal in sex trafficking case. Just popped up in the news this morning, and I thought I would just throw him in here that's still ongoing. So it's weird how these cases. It seems like they get arrested and then nothing happens. You don't hear about it anymore, right?
Well, I know it's kind of weird because it's a court case, so you can't really expose all the evidence.
Yes.
Before a court case. I don't know how it all works out. So, what? Again, I guess we'll find out. Supposed to find out more about Epstein. I don't know if it's just getting buried or they're waiting for a certain time to bring it all out.
Yes.
Right?
I don't know.
That's what I don't know. Is it going to start? I think a lot of arrests are coming, people. I really do. Everybody that I watch says yes. Going to start out with, I forget what. Going to start out with some things. It's going to move to Epstein stuff. Then it's going to move to 2020. January.
Oh, you think?
It's not over yet, is what they say. And whenever Trump said he's got the goods, so they say it's going to come out, and I think it all has to happen before the midterm elections, or else you'll never see it. If it doesn't come out before the midterm elections, it ain't coming out, okay? And the good guys lost and the bad guys won. There you go. But I'm a religious man, and I think God can, expose these evil people in 3 seconds.
That could be exactly what happens. All right, so Pope Francis remembered as a unifying force as 250,000 people attend his funeral. Can you imagine that many people? There were so many people there.
Yeah, there's going to be tens and tens of people that show up. Maybe
there's not even going to be tens and tens at my funeral.
No, I think all my kiddos would show up, man.
Yeah,
all my third and fourth graders,
if they knew about it.
But yeah, they
probably won't know about. Yeah, but yes,
I'm
Pope
just
Francis's funeral was this morning in the early hours American time. Yeah,
I'm all right with just being a nobody. Is what I'm trying to say. I'm dead. If I'm dead, then I don't. Who cares? But that's good. I'm glad. A lot of people loved him, and he's getting a big turnout. That's great. All right. Trump Zelensky meet privately ahead of Pope funeral. Yeah.
So good opportunity to bend the air of the Trump.
J.D. Vance met with the Pope.
Right.
I don't know that they had a secret meeting, but they met public. The day of or the day before. Now the president's met with this guy. Do I think it's one big cabal, leadership going on? Yes, I do. That's my personal opinion on the whole what's going down right now. I don't know what's going down, but I think it's all related to each other.
Yeah.
In my opinion. It's not just as Jacob Israel would say, it's not. I don't think it's just a quinky dinky do.
You don't think it's a quinky dinky do?
That's what Jacob Israel.
Yeah.
I would say no, it's not a quinky dinky do. These are all the same.
Okay, so who was at Pope Francis's funeral and where did they sit? So we just have the important people. So keep going. Good morning, Green Acres. Trump and Zelensky sat 10 seats apart. So that's interesting. So they sat 10 seats apart.
Yeah.
Keep going to the next one. Okay. And go full screen with this. Not with us. Okay. This kind of says where everybody is, the dignitaries, the general public, other clergy, cardinals and bishops, and the coffin was like in the middle. So that's a setup of how the funeral was outlaid.
I would like to see a top-down view to see if there's any symbolism.
Yeah, I'm sure there is, probably.
But let me just come out here.
Okay.
Say, in our respect to the Pope, we sent Karen and Fred.
Yes, we did. They're representing. They're not up in the.
They're not up in the booth. They're at the funeral, representing two old people
on a couch.
On a couch. They were sitting a couple seats.
They were sitting on the back row. On the back row. They barely got in.
We're not going to lie. They just barely got in.
They barely got in
the door, and that's why our show might be a little bit choppy here.
Yeah.
Today.
No.
I just wanted to bring that up.
All right. So anyway, you can go back out to a two thing.
All right.
Former President Joe Biden and Jill, they were sitting 4 rows behind Trump. So go to the next slide.
All right.
And now we're done with that. All right. So
how's Joe doing?
I don't know. Apparently he made it to the funeral, so he's walking, I guess.
I liked whenever Elizabeth Warren, they have to come out and do these podcasts because Trump did them, answered every question, so they're like, okay, we got to do this too. They get on it. And one guy goes to Elizabeth Warren. You didn't see his mental decline at all? Because that's why you guys threw him all out. She's like, well, I thought whenever I went in there, he was doing pretty good. And then he goes, would you say your mentality is at the same level as Joe's? That shut her up. She was like, she didn't know how to answer that.
Didn't know how to answer
that. Oh my
God,
yes. It's like, obviously she wanted to say, yeah, he was brain dead, and I've got a lot more smarts. You should keep on voting for me.
Yeah.
But if you can't tell that the mental declining is there, and you're meeting in person with the guy, and then all of a sudden he's, deemed not sharp and has to step down from running for president. That's a big jump right there. So, yeah, they got him in a catch-22.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
And, Trump answers all the questions. They answer all the questions. You decide. All right. I like it.
Okay.
All right. Any more news?
Yeah.
All right.
Go back.
Go
back.
I'm going back.
Okay. 7 things to stock up on at Costco's before tariffs take effect. Go to the next.
Keurig.
No. All are food items. Cooking oil. Cooking oil. So you need to get all your cooking oil that you need. Go to the next one.
Cooking oil.
Steaks. Despite the large presence
Oh
of
my
national
gosh.
cattlemen beef, most of
Sorry.
our stuff is imported
Yeah. Listen, that
from
beef,
Canada.
that's insane pricing too, man. Like a good cut, whew, man. I'm sticking with pork myself, man, or chicken or pork, because that beef is insane price. I would like to buy it for the farmers.
Yeah, but it's
boy,
already above
whew,
the tariffs. I mean,
man,
that's before the tariffs.
it's way up there.
Salmon.
No big loss there. I'd be
Okay.
all right. I would skip right over the salmon aisle.
Yeah.
So I'm good.
Imported cheese. We don't.
I'm good with
We
that.
usually get American
I
slices.
get the oil. It's not even cheese.
It's
I get
just-
the cheap stuff that you could leave out on the counter for 5 days and it wouldn't rot.
it's still
because it's
cheese.
just pure vegetable oil or something. That's what.
All right, keep going.
I'm cheap.
Yes, you are cheap. Wine. We don't drink a lot of wine in our house.
Not anymore.
No.
Or zero. We never drank wine.
Yeah, we
anyway.
were big wineys. And rice. So we should probably stock up on some rice.
Yeah, rice. My granddaughter's eating a lot of rice.
Yeah, she does eat a lot of rice. We need to stock up on that before.
And
it
should
goes
I
on.
keep going? Spices.
And spices. And I think that's the last one. So go on to the
All
next one. Okay. Experts say there are 5 cluttering personality types. Which one are you? Cluttering.
Let me see. I'm probably not hoarding, because I don't hoard too bad, but
Right.
I always think my problem is every time I throw something out,
Yes, you need it.
I need it the very next day, and I've had it for years. That's my.
Okay, go full screen.
All right,
Every
ready?
once in a while. Okay, happy heaper.
Right.
If your house has fallen on the list of priorities, but there are signs of order and organization around your house, your cluttering style may be happy heaper, which is probably mine.
Yeah, I'd go with that.
Yeah. Because it's pretty organized. Kind keeper. If you're someone who shops frequently or gets a lot of package delivered to your house, your purchases may be the root of your problem. Making you a candidate for a kind keeper. That is me.
Yeah,
that's
you.
me.
That's definitely
That's me. Endowment effect. If the conjugative base, wherein one place more value on things one owns as opposed to things that aren't theirs. If not, only causes people to purchase more than they need. That's you.
Yeah,
that's you.
Listen, there's a reason why we have 6 cars.
It is. There is a reason why we have.
Whenever I was younger, and then high school and college and my first job, my worst fear was you're living paycheck to paycheck back then.
Right.
Is my car break down, and then I don't have money to run out and get another car, right? So if one goes down, my whole system is dead. I was like, I'm screwed.
Yeah. So we have 6 cars.
So after a while, I got that's a good used car.
They're all used cars.
All used cars.
Yes.
I could take that and buy another car.
Right.
And this one breaks down, I'm good.
Right.
We're up to 6 cars.
Yeah.
If I see a really good deal, it's hard for me to pass up.
But
buy them cheap, have them in case something. But we have too many.
We've had them for years, though. Our newest car is a 2009.
2005. Oh, 2009. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Our
You're
newest one is.
But it wasn't a new car.
Yeah.
I bought it used.
Right.
But it's 2009. But the only car we've bought in.
And our oldest
new,
car is
2005.
a 1989
89 Mitsubishi Mighty Max with the 85 horsepower tow package. But I don't know. We're boring people. I'm just saying the truck, we keep low mileage. It's only got 80,000 miles on it.
And it's a 2005.
And we bought that brand new.
Right.
That's like the only vehicle we've ever bought
brand new in our marriage.
They had the
deals.
Family
the
discounts
deals and everything. Okay.
That was a pretty good deal.
All right, go full screen. The warm weeper, someone who has undergone loss, pain, and trauma may consider a warm weeper. The stuff you have chosen to keep offers you a diversion from complicated relationships or an overwhelming sense of melancholy.
Heck, I don't even know.
Yes.
What I do suffer for is I like things that remind me of my childhood and my parents that are not here anymore. Like a Coleman white gas pump up stove. I've got how many of those now? I've got at least 3.
Yes,
3 of
Jennifer, that's the problem with our 2009. Our 2009 has a little glitch in it that's making it lose power, and we can't figure it out because it won't throw a code. So it's some sensor. It's some sensor on it.
The more advanced scanners will probably catch it, right? But my scanner doesn't even show a code. It goes into limp mode, and if you turn it off, turn it back on, you zip down the road again.
Until it goes into limp mode again.
And you have no rhyme or reason. Cold, hot, this, that. Driving me insane.
Yes.
So if anybody wants a Chevy Avio manual with no
AC.
no AC. That's Debbie's winter car. Yeah. She didn't use it this winter, but that's her winter car.
Yes,
because it just gets around everywhere
in the snow.
It
does good on the ice and snow. It does because it's got a low sense of gravity.
I'm ready to bail on that thing and get another Toyota or something like that. Yeah. So if anybody needs a low mileage Chevy Avio, got 40,000 miles on it. It's like brand new. You want to tackle the old issue there, I might let her go for a really good price. Okay.
All right. Next one.
This segment has gotten out of control.
Okay. Harassed helper. If you constantly trying to keep your household running smoothly but are overwhelmed by how much you have going on top of the clutter your family may be creating, you're probably a harassed housekeeper.
That's you a little bit.
Yeah, that's me a little bit.
Yeah, you get, you work and then you don't have time. There's our puppy.
Hey, not for nothing.
Give me paw, Dottie. Paw.
Yeah.
All right, good pup.
Yeah.
That's our sidekick dog right there. She's bored.
She's producing our show today.
She's like, what's taking you guys? So let's get this
over
so I can go on my walk. You want to go on a walk?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she wants to go on a walk. Okay.
Yeah, well, it's raining. Cats and dogs outside.
You're going to have to wait, Dottie.
And
lifetime
lingerer. I think this is the worst one. If you constantly find yourself knee deep in clutter, dishes, laundry, cleaning up after your kids that you can't seem to get out of, you're definitely a lifetime lingerer.
I guess, we're probably all a little of all of these things, but we have worse things of all these things.
Yes, I'm a shopper. I do like to shop, and that's all our news.
All right, you want to get out to phones?
Yeah, let's go out to the marina.
Let me make sure everything is A-okay. All right, there we go.
Got the
new phone number, so if you had us in speed dial, check your number.
Right.
We didn't use it so long.
You need to get it up there?
Probably. How do you get rid of this?
I don't know. Go.
Right there, all right.
There. Voice calls.
No.
Oh,
I'm good.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
What do you mean? It's all use.
All right. So if you'd like to call in, you can call in and tell us your perspective on what's going on, what you think is going to happen. Do you think the shelves are going to be empty? Do you think they're going to be fully stocked? Do you think we're going to be able to afford groceries next week? Tell us.
Help us out too by commenting in there. And leave a comment down below. It helps the old out.
Greenhorn, 1 acre.
Oh yeah,
you can call in and plug your coffee business.
He's sleeping.
No, he's in our chat.
Oh, he is.
He's in our chat.
Gosh,
he's not sleeping.
AZ48coffee.com. I'd like to say it's our official coffee of the morning show.
Right.
But
it's not.
We don't have official. Like Trainwreck is our official opening of our show. But AZ48coffee.com. Go get yourself some of Eric's coffee.
Yes. So anyway, the marina's looking a little bit drab this morning. It's looking a little bit cloudy.
Did Eric get any of a bump? I hope he did. Because
see, he's here.
We shouted out Donut Factory.
Yeah.
And then Donut Factory shouted us out, which is an unfair thing because we can only bring a couple people.
Right. Right.
And then he shouted us out.
Yeah, that was
and we
very
got
kind.
1,000 views on that
video
where we shouted out Eric's coffee. So I hope he got a bump and a good start. And Donut Factory is from where?
Arizona.
So it's a good match. So hopefully it all worked out good.
Or at least I think he was at one time because his friend was from Arizona. So I think maybe.
Maybe Eric could slip Donut Factory a bag.
Yeah, that would probably be good.
I think Donut's a nice enough guy. Alex. Oh my gosh. Donut. Hopefully he's a nice guy. Yeah. I think if you did, he'd probably be like, "Look at this. I got this." I think it would work out, and you get a lot more than from two old people on a couch.
Right. You'd get a better bump from him than us.
Yeah.
Our tens and tens of people.
Yeah, there's, and then I don't know, but okay, let's get back while we're waiting for things that I think you're gonna have. You're still going to have TVs on the shelf. They're going to cost more.
You think so?
You're still going to have coffee pots and everything.
Yeah, they're going to
cost a little more. That's the other thing. AZ48coffee.com, get yourself some of those coffee. It works in a regular coffee pot.
Right.
There you go. There's another good reason to just get ground coffee.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know. You never know. If things go good, he might venture into the Keurig pot.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Anything exciting going on out at the...
No, it's a little bit overcast, it looks like. Maybe a little bit.
Your fishing lures might cost a little bit more.
You think so? They're plastic. Anything plastic.
Anything from China is going to cost just a smidge more.
Yeah.
It's not going to... It all adds up and it all costs more. But it's things that you probably could pass.
And I don't know. To me, it seems like Trump, I don't know. I don't know what Trump is doing, so I can't really speak about what he's doing. It seems like he makes a harsh stand and then he double backs on it.
The thing
he has K-cups. He has K-cups.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. We're not the K-cup kind of people.
No, we're not K-cup.
No.
Let me explain a little bit about Trump. Look, until he does something that really hurts me, I'm on board with him. I'll always be. He's at least seems to be a legit good guy, doing the right things and everything. He cut my taxes last time.
Right.
3%. I'll take it. I'll take anything you can give me. Sounds like he wants to get rid of the whole, income tax for people under 150,000.
I'd be for that.
That's going to help me out big time, and then if all my other stuff costs a little bit more because it's made in America, well, I'm making a little bit more.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So there you go. So you're saving some of your own money.
Right.
Things are costing a little bit more because there's tariffs. But the people that are making it are getting paid because they're here in America. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just sitting back.
See, I'm sort of with Julie Cook. Yeah.
100 days. We're in 100 days.
Yeah.
Give it some time.
I'm just saying, last time. And last time. Yes, a little bit. He should have said this COVID stuff is crap.
Oh, that's what we're talking. I was going to bring that up. Yes. Yeah. If he would have said that, he would have scored massive points.
Right.
Because some people passed away. Some older people.
You want to talk about a psyop on the the world?
Listen, it was just the flu. In my opinion, it was just the flu. People died from the flu. Right. People died from, the CV.
That just tells you how much the media can spin a story and make it like something.
He was big on the vaccine because he wanted to open up America again. Right. And I said, it's experimental. We have no idea if it works. It's come to find out it didn't work at all. It didn't work. They'll say, oh, well, it helps, the symptoms be lower. How do you prove that? How do you prove that if you got it or didn't get it, the symptoms were less?
Right.
Nobody knows, And so that was all experimental. I didn't know if it was going to work or not work. I just said it was experimental. I'm not getting it. I have a healthy immune system. And that, Trump is kind of pushing on everybody too. So, again, things I don't agree with, I'll mention it right away. So, now, do I think he was doing that to open up America and try to get reelected? He had to balance the fence to try to get reelected. So he couldn't piss off people by being so bold.
Right.
Well, he can't get elected anymore. So now he's just doing the bold stuff that he wants to do.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, people have got to be starting to go to jail. Listen, if nothing happens before the midterms, we're done. We're done. Trump may either tried or failed. And then I'll say he didn't do his job. He didn't do what he said he was going to get in there and do. So,
Yeah.
He's got a couple more months, a year. I give him a year. Things don't turn around. I'll be like, yeah, he's just one of them, or he just can't do anything. Like, he tried, but the deep state is way more powerful than him. But that's where God steps in. God, no matter how evil is, just like, with the Egypt, and Passover and everything, in the blink of an eye, evil can be outdone. So we got that on our side. So
yeah. Well, there was a thing that I hadn't considered. I don't know if we talked about it or not. We might have talked about it, but the Pope dying on Easter, and that is Passover. And if you take it back to like the Egyptians, they painted their doorposts so that the Lord passed over their houses and got all the firstborn of the Egyptian sons. Then that takes the whole Pope thing into a whole different error.
I'll go down a rabbit hole. Nobody's calling in.
So nobody's calling it.
I'm going to go down the rabbit hole.
Okay, go down the rabbit
so
hole.
Kim Clement,
yes,
prophet, he died before Trump was ever elected.
Right.
Said he was going to be a 2-term president. Everybody thought that was a wacky, like he would never be president, let alone 2-term. And he lost 1 term, so everybody's like, well, you were wrong. No, 2-term president. He's gotten but he said that like 70 days after, you got to have to watch Bo Polney. He'll go into the timeline. But Kim Clement said the head of the snake would be cut off. And if you go into the Vatican, they have one auditorium with 2 snake eyes and 2 fang teeth. Now, why would you build a theater in the Vatican that looks like a snake head? That's a little bit bizarre.
That is bizarre.
I mean, you got to be evil to want to even say, we're going to make this look like a snake head.
Yes. Yes.
And then the head of the snake will be cut off. Well, we got both the Pope and the head of the World Economic Forum being.
Yeah.
That's just a start, maybe, of all the evilness.
Right.
And they're panicking right now. That's in my opinion. I think the evil is panicking right now. They don't know where it's coming from, what's going to be next, who's going to be in charge.
And I do think that's part of Trump. He kind of trolls them to where they don't know what he's going to do. But I'm on Zombie and Julie's side. I'm more leery of Trump than you are. I'm more leery of him than you are.
Again, I'm just giving the benefit of the doubt up until it doesn't work out. And then I'll be all with you guys. But so far, he hasn't done anything to really hurt me yet.
Yes.
He hasn't raised my taxes.
Right. Yeah.
So, pretty good. He's closing down the border.
Yeah. I'm praying that President Trump listens to God. Yes. Me too, Trish.
I think he does. And he mentions him quite a bit.
Yes.
I think that Trump always appoints people that aren't perfect. If you look back at all the kings and everything back in the Bible, a lot of them had issues. Maybe more than one.
God always.
God, who did I say?
I said Trump. You said Trump.
Oh my gosh, I did not mean that at all. Well, I'm so sorry. God appoints Trump. That's what I meant.
Yes.
I'm sorry, people. I didn't.
And God appoints imperfect people.
Imperfect people.
Yes.
Like some of these kings had like 6 wives, all kind of crazy stuff. But whenever they're selected, hey, they're selected. It's the way it is. So. All my personal opinion. But I take stuff from the Bible. I take stuff from not too many prophets. There's some whacked out prophets, in my opinion, that are just trying to make money off the deal.
Yeah.
But
I agree, Greenhorn. Things that he works on now and needs to continue in the next one. The thing that happens with America is because we go back and forth, it's like nothing ever really changes because the one guy takes out the other guy's stuff and then it goes back and forth.
Yeah. We need a massive change.
We do. We do need a massive change.
If it don't happen before midterm, then we'll know we're all screwed. That's about it. But back to the thing, like Bo Polney, they said there'd be signs in the sky, in the Bible. So you take Bible, and Bo Polney tries to crunch out signs in the sky, and the timelines of sevens and all this. Got to watch them. Got to go watch them if you want to find out his timeline. And he says he don't know either, but he's like, God just gives me timelines. I just spit it out there.
Yeah, greenhorn, chief of sinners. That is me. Yes, I agree with that statement.
I am by no means perfect at all.
At all.
I try. I'm trying to be a better Mark than I was in the past. I think I'm succeeding. Am I still grouchy old man? Probably.
Yes. Most days, grouchy old man.
Try to just go with the flow. I bury it deep. I'm good at burying it. Am I better at burying it deep now?
Not always.
Not
always. Not this week.
You tried to bring it out of me.
Yeah.
I'll bury it deep. And then she tries to bring it out of me like, oh, no, you're not going to bury it deep. You tell me. You tell me what you were mad about there. Or what was I doing the other night just to get under your skin? I would say something. I'd just be like, oh, that's exactly what I expected or something like that. I just would say that because we were having a tiff. I'd just say, yep, that's what. And I was in another room. I was like, yep, that's exactly what I expected or something. She goes, what? What did you expect? I'm like, I wouldn't answer back.
Yeah.
Did that tick you off?
Yeah, he was bad the other night. He was very bad the other night.
I was just thinking, I was like, she's going to want to know what I saw that was out of place or something like that. And she's going to be really upset, and it's going to drive her nuts.
Okay, I believe that's the biggest thing your family can give you is to know that they have faith in Jesus. I believe that with all my heart.
Have I been good at that?
Yes. I do not question if Mark believes in Jesus.
I tell all my kids, man, just live God's way, and life is so much easier. Don't fight it. All that young stuff sounds fun, and was I guilty? Yeah. Was I panicked that I would be in trouble every day, probably in my younger life? Yes. I was always like looking around the corner like I could go to jail.
Yes.
For all the stupid stuff I've done. Yeah. It was maddening, right? Mm-hmm. And then I started just living right, and I'm like, holy cow, I can wake up today and not worry about life at all. It's like, Debbie might be mad at me a little bit. The kids might be, you're grumpy, but I'm not worried about anything.
Right. Absolutely. So anyway, what else do you got going on? Keep talking. Keep talking.
Oh my gosh, we got 10 minutes.
Yeah. So big week. A lot of stuff happening.
Okay. According to Bo Polney timelines, the snakehead being cut off, Kim Clement. Bo says, with the 7 years ago with the signs in the skies with the stars and the Virgin and I don't know what else, all that stuff going on, and the eclipse that happened 7 years ago.
Right.
And 7 months and 7 years, 7 months ago. And so there's 2 sevens. He said, well, you got to have a third 7, which is the day, which could be this week. This weekend.
Which,
so there you go.
We'll see what happens with this port explosion.
Yeah.
And see if that turns out to be anything. I think it's just going to be an explosion because there was a fire before. That's my take on it.
Did you hear Donut Factory? He went live last night. He said, yes, it happened on the 21st.
Oh,
the Pope passing away. But here in America on the West Coast, it was the 20th.
Yes.
So he watched us.
Yeah.
We pointed that out. Mm-hmm. He would probably figure that out.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
But it was interesting that he said, yes, it did happen back in, California time, Arizona time, his time.
Yes.
On the 20th. So
yes.
I found that was.
Yeah.
I'm just going down there a little bit. These are just things. I think God just makes you click on different things on YouTube. And you just got to say, that's bull. That guy's just a whack job, right? Or, all the symbolism, I didn't see it before. Now that he's pointing it out, it's obvious. It's flaunting us right in the face, all the symbolisms and everything.
Patterns can get crazy with dates and patterns, yes.
Yeah, there's people, they, and, a lot of times it doesn't come true.
Right.
So.
Yeah, but you just need one to hit. It's kind of like playing the stock market. Or, not the stock market, but the casino. It's kind of like playing the casino.
Bo got the invade.
He
said something huge was going to happen whenever Israel got
attacked by Hamas.
Then he just hit it on the Pope.
Roll those dice.
Passing away, so
you roll
some
those
of his
dice.
timing is. I like another guy. Let's go down a huge rabbit hole, okay? Rules 2 or something like God Rules 2. He's got 2 channels, but he kind of thinks that the second coming has already happened. And the devil has
talked about this before.
Yeah, the devil has twisted our brain to say that, it
hasn't happened.
It hasn't happened.
Like that the rapture, he thinks the rapture has already happened.
Yeah. And then like people that are imperfect like me have to go through everything again. We get a second shot at trying to get it right, so we go to heaven.
Yeah.
But then he points out all the crazy buildings back in the 1800s that were Taj Mahal, a huge stone in the middle of nowhere. Like they didn't even have a town yet. You know, there's a big white, limestone building, and everything around it is just dirt roads. It's like with why did they build such a vast, huge building in the middle of
nowhere?
And he said they were already there.
You'll have to check out Gene Decode.
Okay.
Gene Decode.
Right. Gene Decode. I'll remember that, Jennifer. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's good. I mean, I could either watch crap TV, right?
Right.
Or watch people, and then I think God will tell you which ones you should start paying a little bit more attention to, and ones that are crap, is what I'm saying. I'll go check out Gene Decode. And I don't know. It's most of the people I follow believe in God. They all do.
Mm-hmm.
They all believe in God. So that's a good start. Now there are a lot of people that push religion that are probably not good people. Yeah. That killed about 3 minutes.
Yeah, it did. We did good. So I hope everybody has a good day. I think here in Oklahoma, we're going to get a lot of rain today. So a lot of rain. Thank you for posting that, Jennifer, Oceans Homestead. So we'll check that out.
For sure. Absolutely, man. I love, and I like whenever people vet people before I get to them too. And then I'm like, okay, I'll shot. Take it more than just with a grain of salt because somebody else has already been listening to that person for a long time. And I don't know. I haven't been watching too many of my Rumble channels too much.
You haven't been watching
lately. I don't
know. You haven't been watching
because it's been a lull kind of.
Yeah.
Now things are getting interested. I'll probably pop back and watch some of my.
It is Twister season for sure. But I think today is just a cold rain, just a rain. So yes, everybody. I do hope everybody has a great weekend. I hope everybody at the meetup out there at Tinkoa has a good weekend. Sorry we couldn't make it this year.
Yeah,
have a lot going on here at the old homestead.
I was almost getting in the car, driving out there, and then I don't know. I had to mow the other day, and I've been really busy doing football and basketball season, so just kind of went out with the pup. I did my own little camping.
You can check that out on Mark's solar channel. What's your solar channel name?
Solar DIY Hobby and Review.
Yeah.
I went with the pup.
Yes.
We used to call it camping, but the youngins call it overlanding.
Yeah, they call it overlanding now.
So I didn't go camping. I went overlanding.
Yes.
I did a little bit of that the other day, and on the cheap, because I'm cheap. I didn't take I got to get the 1995 Mitsubishi Mighty Max in for a little repair. It was all snowy and everything, and they're doing construction out here. So I thought they opened up the road to 2 lanes again, right?
Yes.
So there's a car next to me, and he's hell-bent to get around the 95 Mitsubishi Mighty Max with the 85 horsepower tow package, right? So I was like, they opened up 2 lanes. I'll just get over because I'm turning left and let this guy that's tailgating me get on by me, right? I got over in the left, but it wasn't. It was just the turn lane for going left, and there was a curb, but you couldn't see it because of all the gray salt and snow and everything. They need to put a sign there saying, this road comes to a complete
stop.
Because if it's snowy and stuff, you can't tell at all, Yeah. And so they had been shifting these lines all around, so I had no...
They've been working on that roundabout for
over a
year.
year. So I just plowed this curb going 35 mile an hour. Just that little Mitsubishi Mighty Max, I thought, oh man, I'm gonna have tie rods bent, everything's gonna be blown out, busted. Like I'm not gonna get home without a tow.
Yeah.
Sure enough, it bent the heck out of my rim. So I changed the spare, which was practically flat, but it got me up the hill to the gas station, got me home. And the wheel was turned a little, like a quarter of a turn. So something did bend a little bit, but I mean, a fraction, for just a quarter of a turn, it doesn't take much of a bend to do that. So I got to get another rim and get it realigned, and I think I'll be
back in business.
None of the suspension parts broke at all. I went airborne, and I was like the Dukes of Hazzard, man. Whenever I hit that curb, I caught some air, my head hit off the ceiling, and got me a little brush burn on top.
And of course, it was all my fault because I made you stop for.
I was dead tired. I hadn't slept forever. I just got back. They wanted me to go pick up
Wild Wings.
Wingstop.
Wingstop, which usually he likes to stop.
I do, but I hadn't slept forever.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
And it was like, if I don't do this, they're going to be mad at me. So I was like, I'll do it. I was way too tired. I just wanted to get home. I don't know, though. You couldn't see the road. And it was the guy behind me acting like an idiot, wanting to get by me.
Right.
So even though I was tired, I was still watching the road. Right. It was right out in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
You should see if the road comes to an end, right? Oh, my gosh. Whatever. The good thing is I got home. Yeah. I got home without having to get a tow or nothing. Yeah. So look on the bright side. And I got the truck for $500.
Right.
Because I hoard.
Yes. Because you're a hoarder.
I'm a hoarder.
So, yeah, Jennifer, our town is not that big. And why we're getting a roundabout.
Are you sure it's going to be a roundabout there, too?
Yes.
They haven't done anything lately. Mm-hmm. Like, it's the same as it was months ago. I'm like, you guys, get out there. Get this thing fixed. Look, in 1 year, they probably put the highways across America. You know what I mean? Uh-huh. Like 50,000 bridges, 4 lanes, of the most Taj Mahal highways you could ever imagine. I'm just talking a quarter of a mile section of our town here, My gosh, please. Just finish it.
Yes.
Finish it.
All right, I'm going back out to us. We're going to wrap this up. Yeah. So I appreciate everybody being here.
I guess the next thing I got to work on it.
More cut-ins here.
Yeah. I guess we're going to have to get the air conditioner fixed.
Yes. Yes.
You're looking a little rough there, Dev, on the sweaty side. But
I was thinking we just need to put in
we would section this whole part of the house off before we had to get the grandkids back because I'm cheap.
Right.
And our bill was like $75 for electricity, to air condition.
The back half.
We were saving money, banking it. And it just, instead of getting our whole house air conditioning fixed.
Heat pump fixed.
Now that we have grandkids, I got 2 more kids in 2 different bedrooms. We got kicked out of the studio out here in the living room.
Yeah.
So
new studio. It's a work in progress. So tell us what to think. I think we held solid. A little Frenchie, if you're still in here, tell us.
Absolutely.
Did we hold solid
we did.
today?
I've been watching it.
My goodness, that's a big. Maybe we just needed to update.
No. Thing. I did a speed test, and it was like the most we got with max was 5 megabytes up the other day.
Yeah.
Now we're solid at 10, 11 for the last 2 days. Solid at 10, 11. So it's definitely them messing with. Absolutely.
Okay.
Whatever.
So anyway, I'm glad that we had a good live today. And so until next time, remember, do your own research and be prepared. Look for some cut-ins. Everybody have a great week. See you next time.
Debbie's going to be good about it. I've said that before, but this time, no puppy to go out on either. All right.
All right.
Everybody have a good weekend.